Let's start off here with gold trading near $5,100 US an ounce. It's just incredible. It's gone parabolic, as they say, ballistic to the upside over the past couple of weeks. Our guest says the market may be underestimating the risk of a correction in the precious metal and other metals. We're joined by Tim Regan, Managing Director at Kingwest Company. Great to have you.
Good to be here, Andy.
Maybe we could put up a 20-year chart for gold, because I'm a bit like a broken record on this one, but it hit a record high in 2011 and then really did nothing for almost a decade. So we've seen this movie before to some extent.
Yes, I mean, when you look at gold today, what drove it last year, you did have some central banks buying. I think central bank buying was up about 25%, mainly emerging markets like Kazakhstan, Poland, Brazil. But there's a lot of speculation now in the market. And gold seems to be at the forefront of that speculation. We've seen Bitcoin come down a little bit, and we've seen this story again and again. And so, you know, where is gold going? We're hearing 6,000, 7,000, and as Mark Twain once said, it's not what you don't know, it's what you know for sure that ain't so that gets you into trouble. So I think gold is, will it correct? I don't know, but I wouldn't want to bet on it to go up the way it did last year.
Yeah, I mean, it moves. How does it move? I mean, it's not a normal commodity because the vast bulk of it has been sitting above ground since the pharaohs and before produced it.
It's been a speculative asset for 10,000 years, and that hasn't changed.
Yeah. I know there's some historians who say getting gold and silver was a fundamental reason for the Roman Empire.
Roman Empire, the Spanish coming to the New World, everything. And, you know, we talk about gold, silver. Silver's been fantastic.
Yeah.
I think the Hunt brothers are rolling in their graves.
Oh, my goodness. Let's have a look at silver, because that chart is truly dramatic. And it's interesting. RBC is highlighting some companies that have, at these prices, big exposure to silver, including Wheaton Precious Metals. Their roots were in silver. Then, of course, they diversified because silver mines are hard to find. But they have something like 50% of their revenue now tied to silver, apparently.
Well, it's incredible, the price, because the price didn't move. I don't know if you have a longer chart for decades upon decades.
If you will try a 20-year, sorry, go
on. And now you're looking at 250% in 1 year. I have heard of people who are now going through, Mom's silverware drawer to see if they can melt it down.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding on that one.
No, that's interesting. We should get in touch with a couple of these places that buy precious metals, because historically we've seen that. People resort to melting stuff down.
So it's been an incredible run. But when you look at that and you talk about your parabolic arcs, I've never seen one as dramatic as that one.
That really says it all. We need to resort to logarithmic charts here to give a better idea.
Absolutely.
Because it kind of exaggerates the percentage move there.
Absolutely. And so, fundamentally, these commodities do have industrial uses. We have gold that backs a lot of, the central banks. They're moving away from the U.S. dollar more into gold. But the dramatic rise really doesn't make that much sense.
What about crypto? I like to joke that it's the criminal's friend, the money launderer's friend. I'm sure not everybody in the crypto industry likes to hear me say that, but is that kind of a busted flush for now? Well,
I mean, I don't know. You look at crypto, you talk about money laundering. I've heard it also finances terrorism, arms deals. There's, how do we say that? There's a lot of that goes on in the world. But yes, I mean, in my opinion, but crypto still thrives and survives.
Well, how are you playing Canadian stocks right now? Is there a group you think is being unfairly downvalued by the market?
Yeah, there are. We think financials can still run. We have a big weight in financials. In our portfolio, we're looking for things that have faster earnings growth in the market, higher return on equity, and are also cheaper. And when we do that and look at that type of portfolio in a speculative market, it's quite a bit more resilient. And over time, it will come through.
You have some stock ideas for us. You say that we should be wary of a correction in metals, but Lundin Mining stands out for you right now.
Lundin, we bought a small position. It's done very well for us. It was more about their copper mine coming on stream in the future and how cheap it got. And so it's done fairly well, Lundin. That's the only materials.
LUN, yes.
Yes, that we will own, that we own today. And so, I'm not speaking out of both sides of my mouth. We do want to buy stocks that go up, but we are, even Lundin today, we're, seeing how much more can we get out of this stock in the next 6 months.
And you're talking about their big potential mine. I think it's in Chile.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
yes. And that's years away. But as you can see, down in April, May, the stock was very low.
Yeah.
And it's run quite a bit. So it's been a good one for us.
You have another idea for us, Amrize, AMRZ in New York. I haven't heard of them. What do they do?
Amrize it's a great company. What do they do? The core of their business, people will remember, is Lafarge North America. They're mainly aggregates. So Lafarge was bought by Holcim, a Swiss company. Mm-hmm. And now they've spun it off in North America. So it's all the aggregates. They're one of the biggest aggregate producers. And they also have a roofing business as well. This company is about a $30 billion business. But we think it's a fantastic business because if you're going to grow infrastructure, everybody needs that. And it trades fairly cheaply because it was spun off in Switzerland. Mm-hmm. The person who ran Holcim in Switzerland actually quit there, put his own money in Amrize, and is now running Amrize with his own money. So we like to see good management that actually is committed to the company that they're running.
Tim, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Tim Regan, Managing Director at Kingwest Company.